So, we're live. It's been a while, it's kind of been one of those crazy starts of 2020. We're all scared shitless over everything that's happening so far this year. I've been kind of busy, checking out everything so far. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about... I honestly don't know what we're going to talk about this episode. It's been kind of like... hectic this year. The start of the show. And a lot of people have been asking the question of, where have you been? What is your show? Is your show dead? No. I mean, it's not dead or over like the Weekly Pool podcast, which kind of sucks that it's ended. But I've been, reading books, Let's see, I started reading this comic, let me grab it off the shelf. Ridley Pearson's Super Sons, and I read the first one. I like it because it's very Ridley Pearson-ish. Of course, I mean, he wrote it, but it's very much his book, and it's not really a bad comic per se. It's been really an interesting graphic novel, and I really enjoy it. And I know a lot of people sort of like bitched and complained and moaned about how he kind of ruined... If you hear something in the background, by the way, I know some people are probably thinking there's something in the background. It's called washer. I'm washing clothes, so it's kind of... what I've been kind of doing. But anyway, it's an interesting book. I'm waiting for a lot of people to join the show. So I like the new twist that he sort of added to Damian Wayne, even though they call him Ian Wayne. And John Kent sort of, John Kent. And it's a cool book. It's kind of has its point of view, like global warming and stuff. So they add new characters such as Candace to the book. They have the Four Fingers. Perry White, which they kind of gave Perry White the look of Lawrence Fishburne and Man of Steel. Let's see, they have Clark Kent, Lois Lane, John Kent, Bruce Wayne. They also add a character named Patience, who is... Hi. They had Patience, who is Bruce Wayne's assistant, who also looks after Damian. So apparently Ridley Pearson forgot that Alfred exists, so that's kind of a problem I had with the book. They don't have Alfred in it. Instead they have a new character named Patience, who is Bruce's assistant, and Damian's Alfred, basically. Or should I say Ian. Pearson always has like this sort of reputation of like creating characters. He didn't create Damian Wayne, but he gives characters like short names. So Damian is known as Ian. He wants to be known as Ian Wayne. So it's kind of like the annoying thing of it. It's like instead of like Damian, it's Ian. That's sort of the thing of it. I really like the artwork. Gonzalez, who does the artwork, she does a amazing job. I wouldn't say amazing job, but she kind of gives these characters a bit of a cartoony look to it. So the second book I got yesterday, and I haven't got. I read part of it. It's okay, you know. It's more like a book that bridges the second one to the third one, because they're doing a third one, and that's what's up. So for me, I kind of dug it a bit. So anyway, we're gonna play the intro, and we're gonna get to some of the topics of the show. Is Christian Bale going to be joining the MCU? And I will give my 2 cents into it, and here is the intro to the show. So I'll be right back. So, anyway, we're back. So there's been like this rumor floating around that Christian Bale will be joining the new Thor movie, Thor Love and Thunder, which is the shittiest title for a movie I've ever heard in my life. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love Thor. They love the Mighty Thor film, but I honestly don't see Christian Bale playing possibly Beta Ray Bill or to Gore or whatever the fuck the character he might play. I don't see it. I don't see Christian Bale possibly joining Thor. I mean, I really don't. I feel like it would be sort of like a step down for him. I mean, he went from doing the movie Vice, playing Dick Cheney, which was fucking scary, by the way. How he looked like Dick Cheney and sounded like Dick Cheney and all that. To being in Ford and Ferrari, which looks like a good film. He was nominated, I think, for an award. I don't know. To being in an MCU film. And I know a lot of people say like the MCU films are like the big deal. It's MCU. It's the biggest thing ever. You're in a fucking comic book movie. Fuck awards. That is it. It really isn't. The MCU films are kind of lame. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love them, but they're boring. They're predictable. And I know a lot of people love it, but I don't want to see Christian Bale in a MCU film. They will waste everything that this guy has crafted in his skills to phoning it in. I mean, I seen him in the movie Harsh Times. I know a lot of people say like that was a good film, but he kind of phoned it in. It was kind of a phone-in performance. I know a lot of people love it, but it was just, that was a really boring fucking film. That is, I know a lot of people say Terminator Salvation was the worst Christian Bale film. No, if you watch Harsh Times, that is a boring fucking movie. That is a boring film to sit through. And I sat through that film. I was bored to death how that film was just awful. And for me, I didn't like, that film. And for me, I don't want to see Christian Bale in an MCU film. I really don't want to see him, in the Thor film where he's going to be like the third wheel in this movie. You have Natalie Portman, who they're putting as the centerpiece of the film. I don't know why. Clearly they didn't see Star Wars, the prequel films. I shouldn't say that. We all seen the sequel trilogy, and that was a shitstorm. That new film is like the new Star Wars film. It came out in, I think in theaters, and everyone's totally forgotten about it. And it's funny though, because I know a lot of people want to see J.J. Abrams do Superman. It's like, did you fucking see Star Wars? I know a lot of people say it's, Rian Johnson's fault, but J.J. Abrams is the one who lit the match, and Johnson controlled the fire, and it came in craziness. But have you seen that? I really don't want to see Abrams do a Superman film. I'll just throw that out there. Well, I mean, why the fuck do I care? But I'm not going to see it. But I kind of want to see, Henry Cavill or Cavill, whatever his name is, play Superman still. But anyway, yeah. So, let's see. Other topics there is to discuss. The Tom King book. I did read it. I would say this. Like, I know a lot of people are happy with the Batman Catwoman ending. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I sort of like left with more questions than answers about Thomas Wayne in the Batman comics. Like, one thing I wish that DC would do is, like, and I kind of see why they gave Tom King his own miniseries to do Batman and Catwoman. And I see why they extended the release date, gave him more time to get everything done. Is the last issue, and mind you, I paid $5 for this issue. I paid $5 for this book. And I love the Batman Catwoman moments in it. But reading it, there was not much to get out of it. Out of the story. Out of Tom King's closure to this story. I felt like he made it more filler than substance in the story, and I sort of like walked away after reading it going like, this guy put more time. And I know that this is gonna be like my last Tom King bashing. I know some people say I'm a negative person on Tom King's story. I should be positive and supportive of a story. Did you not see Heroes in Crisis? Tom King put more time into putting Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy together, and more time in the scene of Harley Quinn hitting Wally West in the balls with her knees than anything. Yeah, I'm just being realistic. Yeah, I am being realistic. I mean, I enjoyed the bar scene with Bruce Wayne and Kite Man. I admit I enjoyed that too. That was a good That was a good scene. But damn, I want to know what the fuck happened to Thomas Wayne after, Bruce or Batman overcame his father or his Earth 2 dad, or that really bugged the fuck out of me. It's like it's his dad, but it's like, you're not my father. And I kind of understand, like, Alfred is more of the father figure, but I want to know what the fuck happened to Thomas Wayne in this story. I mean, one punch and bam. That's what bugged the fuck out of me with that story. It's like, did he go to Arkham? Did Barry Allen send him back to Earth 2, or what happened? I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Phantasm and the Batman Catwoman thing. But the thing that worries me is, like, they might fuck that up. Like, and that's the weird thing about it, is, like, they never, like, this is the first time the Phantasm is going to be in a DC comic book. I know a lot of people are making a big deal out of it, but I mean, shit, I made a big deal out of it when Watchmen was going to show up. And they gutted that fish. That is like the most Midwestern term I have ever used. They gutted that fish and made it worthless. Like, they made the whole Doomsday Clock thing worthless, in my opinion. And I think that's why a lot of people are just not excited about the big event book. I think they announced, like, another big event book, and I'm just like, who gives a shit? Like, I was so disappointed with Doomsday Clock, and I'm going to explain why I was extremely disappointed with the final issue. I'm going to point out the three people that kind of made it worthless after reading it. Tom King's one of them. Once he did Heroes in Crisis, that kind of became worthless. Doomsday Clock became worthless. Because everything that's happening in Doomsday Clock technically doesn't even matter anymore. Didio was against the Rebirth. I think we all know that now. He did everything he can to block Rebirth. He did everything he can. He even blocked the Batman Catwoman wedding. I mean, shit. He was one of the people that sort of leaked the story to New York Times and caused the sales of that book to plummet. I mean, Tom King was kind of involved because, he wrote it, but Didio was one of the people that were like, let's just tank the rating, tank the sales on it. And finally, the true Dr. Manhattan who fucked up the universe, Brian Michael Bendis. And yes, that was a bald joke. He is a bald dude. Just like Manhattan. Bendis completely destroyed Superman. He is truly the Lex Luthor of the real world. I know a lot of people say Donald Trump, but in the comic book world, Bendis is the Lex Luthor, and Lilo just woke up from her nap. Bendis destroyed everything in the Superman comics. And when you look at everything that Bendis has done, and I talked about it, I think, in the last episode of the show, how he rewrote everything of the characters, destroyed everything that Dan Jurgens and Peter J. Tomasi did with Superman. exposing Clark Kent's secret identity to the point where James, I forget his name, James Tynion or Tynan, I forget how he said his name was. The guy who officially took over Batman kind of made the joke out of it at the end of the Batman 85 issue, where Joker sort of found out, pretty much just like everybody, of Superman's secret identity, and said, this is going to be so much fun. So everything that happened in Superman doesn't really matter. So anyway, that's kind of what bugged me about Doomsday Clock. Anyway, the ending of the book, basically, if I remember correctly, Superman and Manhattan had like this big blowout fight in the book. Let me find it. I think I bought it on digital because they didn't have it in the comic book store. Yeah, I had to buy a digital comic book, folks. So yeah. So Superman and Manhattan go at it. And I'm going to be right back, folks. I'm going to see what the fuck Lilo's barking at now. It can't be a nightmare. So anyway, we're back. She's barking at the wall. The dog's not right. So anyway. So, back to Doomsday Clock. So basically, Superman has a blowout fight with Manhattan, and it goes back to the spaceship. It begins with a child being sent to Earth. I admit, like, one thing, I do love the artwork in the book. I think that's what it's sold more. And the thing is, the artwork in the book is kind of great. But I think what happened with the book and all that was that it took too long. Like, Doomsday Clock has taken so long. It's kind of like the Three Jokers. And I'll be honest, like, the Three Jokers book, I just don't see it ever coming out. I really don't. Like, they announced it, I think, back in, like, 2017. So, anyway. Let's see. Back to Watchmen Universe. Yeah, they go back to the Watchmen Universe. Manhattan returns to the Watchmen Universe with Rorschach and Ozymandias. Yeah, that's right. The entire fucking Watchmen characters had come to the DC universe. Instead, after the whole battle, Luthor uses a device to return the comedian to the moment of his death. Manhattan returns to the Watchmen universe with Rorschach and Ozymandias. Meme and Marionette stay with their unborn daughter, hoping to reunite with their son in the future. Back at the Watchmen universe, Dr. Manhattan saves the Earth by making all nuclear weapons disappear. Ozymandias is imprisoned for his crimes. People around the world protest against the use of nuclear weapons. Reggie makes peace with Lewis and Cavix while operating as Rorschach. Manhattan raises Meme and Marionette's son as his own, naming him Clark. Manhattan eventually disappears, transferring his powers to Clark. As his life forced to the planet, Clark is sent to Lori and Daniel's home to be adopted by them. Following a peaceful death, Carver Colm is honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's an actor that Manhattan became friends with. So basically that's how the book ends. Now, as for the Three Jokers, I doubt that book will ever be out. Saying that book will be out is like saying Batman Earth 1 Volume 3 will be released next week. It won't. So, yeah. So, anyway, we're going to read this one. This is a gossip story. DC's biggest post-Christmas gossip. I need something to drink, by the way. My throat is kind of dry and I'm catching a cold. I fucking hate allergies and flu season. By the way, for those who don't know. This Powerade stuff. Melon. Ugh. Not that good. By the way. So. The biggest DC post-Christmas gossip. DC's timeline. The 5G. I hope to God they release that so I can fucking destroy it. Death metal. Three Jokers, Robins, and more. The run-up to the holidays seems to have been quite a time. The 5G plan at DC Comics, Bleeding Cool is reporting on this publishing plan, led to the publisher Dan Didio at DC Comics since the summer. A new generation of DC comic characters are following. Laid out the 4 generations of the DC Comics superhero. The 5th generation would have new individuals taking the traditional role held by the big heroes in the book, such as John Kent would become Superman, Luke Fox would become Batman, Captain Cold Jr. would be the Flash, Joe Malone being the Green Lantern, and a Wonder Woman man being Wonder Woman. Other characters would be aged out. Indeed, the plan would be sometime in 2020. The DC Comics timeline has expressed at the at the New York Comic Con, basically, would be the characters across the DC universe suddenly aged and the status in the DC universe has changed. This is something that we've been pulled out of our asses. Every aspect is from multiple sources to close to the story across the executive, editorial, marketing, and creative levels. This was the big plan. before Christmas, before DC Comics closed for Christmas, that the plan was Flux. We've been told that the plan was laid out for Marion Jarvis, a new run of Convergence style event. Oh shit. I love the way you talk about comics things. The thing is, I'm going to point this out. I cannot fucking wait for the 5G. This is going to be Wonder Bitch, dude. Yeah. This is going to be a great thing. Especially for the YouTube channel, where I will be recording videos talking about comics someday. And I will just, like, rip through these comics. I mean, not literally rip through, because I want to keep them as collectibles. Something as time goes on, I will show my grandchildren or great-grandchildren how shitty comics was at one point. I'd be like, take a look at this. You see this? Yeah. Don't fuck up. That'd be the plan. I mean, imagine it. I mean, just imagine this. Like, you're going to have a black Batman. Marvel's already done it. You're going to have a transition Wonder Woman man. Marvel probably done it, I think. John Kent taking over Superman. Not really that interesting. I'm sorry. I'm surprised that Bendis hasn't wrote the Wonder Woman man. He has no balls, so why not just let him write it? I know a lot of people are going to be like, man, you are mean. So I don't see this working. I honest to God don't see it working. Of course it's not going to work. I mean, look at Marvel. Marvel has been going after the shadow audience that does not exist. I don't know how many times we had to beat the drum into the head of these people. Shadow audience don't exist. They don't exist. You're reaching out to a people that are on their Tumblr, their Twitter, the Instagram. Hell, I'm sure a lot of these people listen to K-pop. And they're just like, we don't have a character that does not speak to us. We have no character that represents us. Bullshit. You have a ton of these characters. Like you say, there's no black superheroes. That is borderline bullshit. You have Miles Morales, John Stewart Green Lantern, Icon, Static Shock, Black Panther. You have all these characters. You have Storm. You have a lot of these characters that are black characters. Some of them haven't been made into films. Static Shock, Warner Brothers. Static Shock is a great character. Black Lightning. Totally forgot that dude. I haven't seen the show, by the way, so quit asking me if I've seen Black Lightning. I have not seen the show. I really have no plans to see it. I'm sorry. But if you tell me that Warner Brothers is going to make a Static Shock movie, I would say I will go see that film. I love that animated show. That is a good show. I really love the character. He has a very enthusiastic excitement of being a superhero. You need that. And I know a lot of people are saying like the Flash should have been the glue that holds the team together. He's the rookie. He's the standout. People are going to love him. But if you put Static Shock in there, people are like, I like that kid. And it would have been interesting, like, I will say this. It would have been interesting if Jaden Smith played Static Shock. But at this point, I really don't want to see it. And a lot of people want to see Michael B. Jordan play Superman. And I said this on the last episode. I would not be interested in seeing Michael B. Jordan play Superman. I really don't. I don't want to see Michael B. Jordan play a character that's been, it's a white character, now he's black because you want brownie points for, we got a black character. You don't really need that. I'd rather see Michael B. Jordan play Static Shock. I'd like to see him be the first actor in a live action performance play Static Shock. It'd be great. People would be like excited for a character that some people probably never even heard of. They're like, who is Static Shock? They would go buy the books. They would buy it. They would buy Static Shock comics and they would go see the film. And a lot of people are afraid of it, I'm sure Warner Brothers especially, is because they put Shazam out, which, by the way, I have the first Shazam comic where he makes an appearance in the DC universe. If you don't know that, I am a very proud owner of that. So, I rather see Static Shock be made in a film. I like to see Jordan play Static Shock. He would be perfect for that role, because Static has a sense of humor. He's, hopeful, excited. He's, an inspiration character. He is. If you ever watch him in Justice League Unlimited, I forget the episodes. It's the episode where Superman, John Stewart, Green Lantern. Shit, I would love to see Jordan play John Stewart, Green Lantern. And you have Batman, Green Lantern, John Stewart, and Wonder Woman. They time travel and they go into the Wild West where they team up with Jonah Hex. I love that character, by the way. And then they go after then they go into the future where Batman, I love this moment, by the way, Batman meets Terry McGinnis, Batman, and an older Bruce Wayne, which is great because it's interesting. It's an interesting moment, but also Green Lantern, John Stewart, meets his son, who he fathered with Hawkgirl. And they also meet Static Shock, who is an old man. And there's this funny moment that I love where John Stewart, Green Lantern, talks to Static. He goes, you look good as an old man. It was just like, because the last time John Stewart saw him was when Static was a kid, a teenage high school kid. And I would love to see Static show up somewhere. And I think John Stewart. I think that Michael B. Jordan would be great for that role. It'd be a new character, a fresh take on the character, and it would bring something new to the table. I don't want to see a rehashing of a character done in a different race, because you need that political PC culture brownie points. You really don't need it. So, for me, hell, I would love to see Green Lantern film done. I know Greg Berlanti's doing the show, but man, it'd be great to see, I'm going to point this out, and this is, in my head, who I'd want to see play the characters. You have Hal Jordan. Tom Cruise would be great for that role. When I think about it, no. Fuck that. Not Tom Cruise. Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg as Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. Guy Gardner. I don't know who I would want to see play Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is like a larger-than-life character of himself. Ryan Gosling. It's iffy. Michael B. Jordan as John Stewart, who's a rookie Green Lantern, who was taken under the wing of Hal Jordan. Kilowog. That's going to be a tough one because Michael Clark Duncan did the voice of Kilowog. Tom Cruise would be cool. I would rather see Tom Cruise play Sinestro. That's who I think would play it. Sinestro played by Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise is kind of crazy. But anyway. Alan Scott, I know a lot of people. I bet you $5 Alan Scott's going to be in the fucking Green Lantern show. I bet you $5 that is going to happen. I bet you $5. So anyway, we're going to talk about the DC 5G. Let's see. Marion Jarvins to run a DC Convergence style event, spring of 2020, over 2 months. So the editorial team has already have the head start preparing for the DC 5G. I thought Bendis would do it. It seems the time has approached. This event ran out to it. It was reduced just to 1 month and handful of titles, then delayed and taking up 2 months again. Now the schedule for late summer, early autumn, unless it's changed again. The plan is or was for DC Universe titles to come to an end over the summer. Convention season has led to 2-month Convergence style crossover, then the 5G will be launched in autumn. So apparently DC is at the point of rather to pull the trigger or not for this DC 5G. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to do it or not. Had to get a drink of water. But do I see them doing it? No. I might be wrong, but who knows? That's the point of the show, is I don't know if they're going to do it. Part of me kind of hopes they do the 5G, because it would give me something to do for the YouTube channel. Talk about the title, the name, the story, the artwork. All these things. And it would be great. But I do like this one where I will point this one out. The plan suddenly aged DC Comics characters in one issues without the next without notice. Matching the new DC timeline waiting for until the 5G explain has been put on hold. There are huge editorial team jitters, it seems to be. So the editorial team seems nervous about this, but there has been a huge editorial team jitters. The idea is the DC Black Label and DC Giant publishing line would provide a stop for those committed to previous versions of the DC characters. Also had scheduling issues. Existing Black Label and Giant issues have fallen foul lateness, and suddenly there's a lot more resistance. Firmly approach plans have gotten a lot softer on the run up to Christmas. So a lot of them are fucking nervous about the 5G, which is a shame. I mean, I would be supportive of it. I would. I mean, I need something to do. I mean, the thing is, I wish they would focus more on the Giant books, the DC Giants. Lately, when I've seen in stores, there's not like a lot of them on the shelves, which is a fucking shame. Because a lot of them are really interesting. I mean, the most I've seen on the recently was the books that are not being sold, which is Wonder Woman, DC Superhero Girls. Sorry, I had to burp. Titans, Teen Titans Go, Titans, and I think the ones that I've been selling is like Superman, Batman, Aquaman, and partially The Flash, Justice League, which I think they kind of quit publishing on that one. But I mean, for me, I bought like a lot of them. As you can tell, I did the Batman Hush episodes. But the one that I kind of enjoyed was the DC Primal Age, which they kind of quit right in the middle of, which was a shame. But the problem with it was they sold all the DC Primal Rage stuff in Target. They didn't go to Walmart. They didn't sell it like in Walmart, Target, all these stores. They just sold it in one store, which was a problem because you look at them, they're like really cool stuff. I mean, really cool figures, which are like very 80s throwback. But they sold them in one store, which fucking sucked for me, you know. I've wanted to see them like expand the DC Primal Age and do more figures, more sets, all these cool things, but they didn't. And that's the thing that kind of bugs me lately is like comic book toys really don't go that far anymore. I mean, like when they did the Migos, like you had the Mego Batcave, you have all these cool things. I would love to fucking see a toy set of like Gotham for some odd reason. And I remember that back in the day they were going to do, when they were releasing all the DC animated stuff, like all the Batman the animated stuff, the new Batman Adventures, they were going to do like a toy set. And they didn't. So, for me, it would have been cool, but anyway. Around this point, DC executive editor Pat McCollin, that's a very politician name, after months and months of work, this seems to have decided enough is enough and walked out. Certain comic curators, such as Scott Snyder, have been seen treating as DC 5G as a cue of exit from the DC universe to go full on Black Label creator-owned stuff. Just as soon as he and Greg Capullo completed Metal 2 project, currently called Death Metal, there has been attempts to load this with the 5G references. Snyder and Capullo has been resisting. Couldn't fucking blame him on that one. I mean, you really can't blame Capullo and Snyder on not wanting to do stuff, because here's the thing about it, like New 52 was Dan Didio's baby. He basically, what I've taken from that little article I read right there, Didio controlled everything. The Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Lantern, all these things. And all those books that he kind of, I take it, had control of, didn't do so great. What was the one standout in the DC New 52? Was Snyder and Capullo's Batman. They really made those books stand out. And those are really good books, by the way. I will say this, like Batman versus Robin, where they had the Court of Owls, was kind of a letdown of a film. I've said it before. It was a letdown. Let's see. There has been attempts to load this with the 5G references. Snyder and Capullo have been resisting, and it looks like that many of them have won the battle, though many have used this as a thing that will see Batman and Superman age, along with the new DC timeline, not to mention regarding Dr. Manhattan's trickery. Fuck. I don't want to see Manhattan back. He's kind of boring. It should have been its own thing, and certainly reflect the previous Metal series, and throwing everything across the wide DC universe into a pot. Last time saw Sandman, Barbaros, and Justice League combining robots in the mall, except the DC Death Metal to top that, and have a lot more Wonder Woman to it. No having set up another Age of Heroes. No having to set up another Age of Heroes, sorry. Might this been the time that DC Comics has gone back to Geoff Johns to ask him to smooth things out as he did with Rebirth? DC Comics can't deny the popularity of his Doomsday Clock comic and the critically commercial success of DC Rebirth. Initially brought the whole line, no sign of his and Jason Fabok's The Three Jokers yet in a schedule. Fabok's currently working on the 3rd issue. Man, dude, hurry up. I'm sorry, but it's like, damn, hurry up on the 3rd book. Currently working on 3 issues. I've been told that there is a scene in the 2nd book, Barbara Gordon, Jason Todd, that will cause waves of probably irk certain fans. That means they're gonna fuck. Sorry, I had to throw that joke in there. Irk fans more than what Tom King did to Wally West and Poison Ivy combined. Yep. Jason and Barbara are definitely going to do it. I know some people are probably going to get pissed for what I said, but hey, it's better than the fucking Killing Joke animated film, okay? It's definitely better than that. The only ones who could do it on the rooftop of Gotham is Batman and Catwoman. That is it. So. I know people can get pissed for that. When I said Jason. Yeah, it kind of sounds like they're. Yeah. So. But with Doomsday Clock, when it comes to continuity, it will be as though these books never happened. Shit, man. Even though they grew out of big continuity changes in the DCEU. Not even living Ball and Paul Kent, certainly not living Alfred, has been seen in the DCEU as a result. So why would we see 3 Jokers in the Batman titles? Will we see Shazam 13? And the emergence of Superboy Prime be Geoff Johns' attempt to sort this out? Or is this chance to have fun? So, what I am reading from this is, 1, it sounds like they threw out the 5G plan out the window. 2, they're going back to Geoff Johns, begging him to fix whatever the hell happened. Which is a good thing. And I'm surprised about the Shazam thing, man. They even in New 52, they fucked over Shazam. They just canceled it. And it's Dan Didio must have a hatred towards Shazam. So, for me, it sounds, from this article I read, Snyder and Capullo were like, fuck this, we're not doing DC books, we're going to Black Label, which I love Black Label so far. Curse of the White Knight, I kind of don't enjoy it, but I look forward to seeing what Murphy's going to do with Catwoman. I do look forward to that one. Murphy's going to knock that one out of the fucking ballpark for sure, Catwoman, and I can't forget the other writer. She's working on it too, so it kind of sounds like they're going back to Johns, begging him, please, God, fix this. Whatever happened, fix it. So, let's get to, as for the timeline, DC publisher Dan Didio showed off at the New York Comic Con on the big screen, and Bleeding Cool did not have the best to dissect it, not to mention it was unfinished, and not to mention publicly, see, it's way too early apparently. It's no relevance to whatever is going on in the DCU right now until the eventual launch the DC 5G happens. The launch of the DC 5G. Then that's the DC timeline going forward. There will be changes to what we saw last year. However, as we've observed, everyone aged up, part of the 5G, instead of erasing the continuity. Acknowledges that everything happened had been an impact to deals with consequences, including aging characters out of the roles, replaced mostly with new characters. So what is the current Justice League basically fills the roles of Justice Society and will be passed to Justice Society used to. They pass their mantles on and they will start a group of advisors and blah 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 blah. So here's the big part. This one kind of pisses me off, and this is the next part of it. What I was been told was plans have changed, that unlike the New 52, Batman's timeline will now pass. Timeline is now plans to let every Robin have their time. No more 5 Robins in 5 years. Dick Grayson will have been Robin for years, Jason Todd for years, Tim Drake for even longer, over a decade, before Damian came along. If everything still goes ahead, Bruce and Clark will both be 60 years old when 5G starts. Though Bruce will even show it more. They're gonna make Bruce Wayne fucking 60. That kind of bugs me. Because if you're gonna like erase Clark, not Clark, fuck Clark Kent. If you're gonna erase Bruce Wayne and make him 60 years old, where he's no longer Batman, man, what the fuck am I gonna do? What am I gonna read? I'm not gonna read the new Batman book. Because my Batman is like 60 fucking years old. I mean, come on. You really can't do that. The motto for the 5G and the DC timeline is that everything happened, and Wonder Woman will be in. Sorry, hold on. Will be. Hold on. Wait a minute. Here's one. The motto: everything happens. Wonder Woman will be entrenched as the first DC superhero, even fighting in World War II, just like in the movies. One comic I am told to look out for is where the first signs of what actually happened will appear, is Metal Men, written by Dan Didio. They're gonna let this motherfucker write a book. The plans will be different in the series originally, not all at once, but people will start to notice no more ongoing series for a while. Lots of doing what seems to be the final stories. James Tynion has already teased what seems to be the final story between Batman and the Joker. And at the end of 85, it looks like more of those Suicide Squad is probably the last big new ongoing series to launch until DC 5G. All the storylines will start ahead towards the wrap around the new release of Death Metal #1 and Conversion. Sorry, I'm kind of like aggravated right now as I'm speaking. Convergence style event. So basically, they brought in Tynion, who, by the way, never answered any of my questions I asked on Twitter. I guess that's why he didn't answer my one question when I asked, what is the big event book that will be a landmark changing in the Batman universe. I guess that's why he didn't answer my question, was this. That's what I'm assuming. So, I think that's what happened. I think that's why he didn't answer my question on that one. So, and if anyway, and if you start see a certain major creators, the DC Marvel drop off the landscape, it's because they're doing prep work for 5G. Just like with the House of X books, where some of the titles were created up to a year before publication in secret. Look for DC to have doing the same thing. Basically, they're doing the same fucking thing that Marvel did. They're basically doing... This is like Dan Didio's... remember the episode South Park? I don't know if anybody's remember the episode South Park where Butters has this plan and the one kid says the Simpsons did it already? It's the episode where basically it's called The Simpsons Did It. Or Dan Didio is like Butters in South Park in that episode, where he says like this great idea and someone says Marvel did it. And he goes, I have this another great idea. And they're like, Marvel already did it. That is basically what Dan Didio's mindset is. He's like fucking Butters from South Park, where he's trying to come up with all these great plans that Marvel already did. So basically, that's who Dan Didio is. He's Butters from South Park. When coming up with something, someone's like, Marvel did it. And that's the problem with this guy. Rob Liefeld is right. That should be the title of this episode. Rob Liefeld is right. DC has no plan whatsoever to evolve things. Instead, it's like, we're going to make our characters old. They're going to pass the mantle down to these characters that are not interesting, not relatable, no flaws, no weaknesses. They are just perfect. And we're going to annoy and irritate the shit out of our readers to the point where they drop our books. We're only selling like 5,000 to 10,000. And they're going to go over to Marvel, and Marvel's going to sell over 20,000 to 30,000 books. That's the plan they're going with. They're going to irritate the shit out of readers, except me, who's going to buy these books just to get views. That is my plan. That is my 2020 plan. J7 2020, destroy the 5G. That is going to be a hashtag. That is the plan for my 2020. And a lot of people are like, why are you buying these books? They're shit. That is the plan. And when I'm done with them, I'm going to mail them to DC Comics headquarters and with a note saying, read them, not like them, send me back the money. It's like... So anyway, that is my plan. So anyway, let's read this article some more. Let's see certain points. Just like the House of X books, Marvel did it. Where some of the titles were created up for a year, blah 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 blah. Publication is a secret. DC Comics have been doing the same thing. Could this be what Brian Cunningham is working on? No one has seen him around much. I bet he's in hiding. Just expect a lot from Wally West. Just expect a lot from Wally West this year. While all this is going on, I've been told to keep an eye on the Flash 750, and who knows if we're all good. We may get a Batman Catwoman during all this, maybe sometime the Three Jokers. At least the movie-based delays. To later script freed up, Jason Fabok has been working on the last days of Tom King's Batman run. More as it spin out. I love the photo that they have Dan Didio, who's like sitting in front of the DC timeline going like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I love that photo. He's just sitting there going like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I agree with this one person. One person wrote, Dan Didio and Jim Lee are co-publishers. They're both report to Bob Harras. Didio is singled out constantly because he's a prevalent face that puts on the huge salesman act. That is true. But the point is, I think a lot of people make out is that you don't really hear Jim Lee talk much. You really don't. You don't hear Jim Lee really talk much about, what to expect from DC that much anymore. That's always bothersome. That's always bothering because I like this one. DC Comics launches a credit card line so you can afford outrageously priced comics. I did sign up for that, by the way. I did sign up for it. I canceled it because I thought, like, shit, I will be buying a lot of crazy stuff. Never leave the cave without it. I did try to sign up for DC Comics credit card, and I kind of canceled. When I finished signing, I really thought to myself, like, should I really do it? I mean, it'd be nice to have like a Batman credit card and pull it out, going like, never leave the cave without it. And I thought to myself, like, no. Like, that's what I thought of a lot. I thought, like, nah, this wouldn't work. But anyway, it's kind of bothering some about the it's kind of bothering about the 5G thing. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people are not going to buy it. And the 5G might work for AT&T phones. Doesn't mean it's going to work for comics. And DC has to realize that. They have to look at the big picture. When they launched Rebirth, after the years of pain and agony, that was the New 52. A lot of people were excited about the rebirth, the fresh start, going back to the basics. That's what they were excited about. They were happy to go back
to the classic style of storytelling.
You actually made Superman actually interesting. Clark Kent was an interesting character. Like, you made him realistic. I mean, you gave him some realistic parts. Instead of making him like this guy who's balancing both life and being a superhero, you made him this father figure. You know, basically made him a father who is trying to teach his son how to control his powers, how to be human, how to live a life. And you basically took that all.
Instead, you basically made him a character that no one fucking cares. Instead, you made
Lois Lane this selfish bitch
who, even though her son
went away with a crazy ass grandfather on a spaceship, and you're like, he's better off where he's at. Instead of like being the mother to take the son and go back to Earth and tell your husband what the fuck happened. Instead, you're like, he's better off where he's at. I can't deal with him. I need to go work and write my story and not really give a shit about my family. Is basically what you. I mean, you know how stupid Dan Didio is as a writer? Like, Dan Didio is out of touch with reality. He believes everything that happens in the comics does not matter. Logic, reason, or reality. None of it matters. I mean, I don't know why they hired this guy. Like, when you imagine like being AT&T and you bought the books, you're like, okay, where did that huge amount of money go? Dan Didio goes, well, we hired Bendis. Has he sold any good books the year before you hired him? No. You gave him the biggest title, one of the big 3 titles, and you canceled other good books that people were like reading and enjoying. Yeah. There is still to this day, I think, a couple screws loose in his dome piece, and nobody can't fix it. I would love to meet Dan Didio. I actually do. I would love to meet him and have a conversation with him, which would probably not end well. I would love to sit him down, have a conversation. The first question I'd be like, what the fuck happened? What happened to DC? Why aren't you selling well? Why did you hire this crazy ass writer named Brian Bendis? And also, where is Batman Hush Part 2 at by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee? And why did you fuck up Batman 50? And that is still to this day the most bothering thing ever that happened, was killing the momentum of Batman. And the thing is, I still to this day believe, I know that Tom King said he had plans to write over 100 books and call it quits. I still to this day believe that there is a extended version of the City of Bane story. I don't know why they didn't go with the plan of, okay, Tom King's going to do the City of Bane, and those are his last storylines. Why didn't they just extend the books? Or extend the stories? Well, why didn't they just make it each issue like a longer book? You know what I mean? Like, each book being longer than the previous books and stuff. Like, shit, I would have waited for the delay of it. I just felt like City of Bane was kind of bum rushed. out the door. I mean, I know he's writing a movie script of New Gods. He's working on Batman Catwoman. He's working on Strange Adventures with Adam Strange, which I don't look forward to. I really don't look forward to reading that, and I probably will not buy it or read it. So, anyway, let's see. Here's a question: will there be episodes tomorrow? Yes, there will be episodes tomorrow. Tomorrow's episode, we will be doing K-pop. I kind of want to chime in on that one. K-pop and stuff. It's kind of interesting one, if you ask me. It's kind of weird though. Like I want to put this out. I don't know what K-pop is. I don't know what it's about. I don't know who these people are singing. Like, I will say this, like, I look at their music videos from other, like, I watch other YouTubers who talked about it, and their videos look really interesting. Very bright, very colorful, very cheerful. I mean, they're not... Some of them are very artistic, like, very Billie Eilish artistic. Like, not very artistic like Billie Eilish, who I feel like her music video sort of represents the song that she's singing, in my opinion. I mean, still, there will never be a great music video like Mr. Brightside by The Killers. I am throwing that out there. I am throwing it out there to the field. That is basically what I am saying. Mr. Brightside was by far the best music video ever. Next to Smashing Pumpkins 1979. I am going to defend Smashing Pumpkins to the end. That is one of my favorite bands. But I did listen to, like, I did, like, find some of the videos that they were playing, and I was listening to some of the songs, and I cannot understand what they're saying. I don't know what they're telling me. Why do the dudes wear earrings? Why do they look very feminine? Why do they look like they wear makeup? I am throwing that out there. They look like they've wearing makeup. But some of them, like, I will say this, like, I've seen some of them play, and this is I'm going to put my Alex Jones InfoWars hat on. They look like they're shilling out propaganda. Like, I feel like they are throwing out K-pop propaganda. That's what I feel like these people are doing. They're shilling propaganda. Open your eyes. Take a look. And the thing that makes me laugh is throughout all this cringe, they have this video. If you go on YouTube, K-pop cringe, there is this woman who's putting on K-pop makeup to look like the Korean pop singers. Look like a Korean pop female singer. And this woman looks old enough not to listen. Like, she looks old enough not to listen to K-pop. Like, she looks too old and stuff. So for me, I don't understand these, K-pop. And the thing about it is, like, these K-pop fans, they call themselves stans. Taking from the name of an Eminem song, Stan, and when I saw that, I sort of kind of cringed. Because the Eminem song Stan is about a dude who is obsessed with Eminem. Him and his brother wait outside for an autograph by Eminem in the rain. And he becomes so obsessed with Eminem that he sends an audio recording of him with his pregnant wife in the trunk, and they drive off a fucking bridge killing themselves. Him killing her and him killing himself. You know how fucking creepy that is? You're basically referring to yourself that you would kill yourself and a loved one for the admiration and attention from a K-pop singer who doesn't know you. You know how creepy that is? You know how disturbing that is? Like, I am a fan of... I'm a fan of, Michael Keaton. I wouldn't do that. I like Michael Keaton. To the point of being like, when I was a kid, I really thought you were Batman. But I wouldn't do it. I'm a fan of, man, what's her name? The actress that played Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She played Daphne. I was a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I wouldn't do that. I would just be like, hey, I like the show. I grew up watching Buffy. It's a badass show. I'm glad nobody's never done a remake of it yet, because you're awesome. But still, I wouldn't do what these crazy dumbasses are calling themselves. I know a lot of people are like, well, they're just kids. No, I don't think they're kids. Remind you, when Twilight came out, there were women who watched Twilight, and they certainly weren't high school kids. They were women who had kids. And they just liked it because the two dudes were hunky. That's basically why they watched Twilight. Okay? That's why. So, don't tell me like they're just kids. No. They put a lot of time into watching K-pop, okay? So, that's where I'm getting at. So, and the thing is, one thing that bugs the fuck out of me. Alright, this is breaking news right here on Twitter. Senator Mitch McConnell told Republicans that he has enough votes to proceed with the impeachment trial without committee and additional witnesses over the objections of Democrats. Oh, shit. We're getting the trial. I don't really care, to be quite honest. I don't. Who cares? But I'm going to look for these K-pop Twitter things. Snow day. Yeah, we're getting a lot of snow, by the way, folks, so heading our way. This one kind of cracked me up. Catholic student Nick Sandman gets a settlement from CNN after a $275 million lawsuit. Shit. The kid's got a lot of fucking money out of that one. Alright, I'm gonna look up K-pop. And I'm gonna regret this. I like the one YouTuber, and I have never met him. Drama Alert, I don't know if anyone ever heard of him. He was a dude who like really really went at it with K-pop. And he tweeted like 3 hours ago, BTS is over party. I don't know what the fuck that is. Please unstand, y'all. I want to grab some tickets easily for BT. Oh my god. Here's the weird thing about it. I love this one. BTS party is over. K-pop needs to be banned in every country. That is true. Here's the weird thing about it. This K-pop thing, I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm going to talk about the final topic, and we're going to wrap things up. Tomorrow's episode, I want to do a fun one, which will be basically about these dumbass animated true stories. Anyway, this K-pop thing is basically a phase in life. It is literally a phase in life. There were people back in the 90s and early 2000s who listened to Hanson. I don't know why. I believe people who listen to Hanson are probably brain damaged. And I don't care what people say. But it's the truth. I mean, my sister listened to Hanson, and I hope she has a safe travel to Florida. By the way, she's going to Florida, and tomorrow I'm going to go over and check on her cat. Feed it. Make sure it doesn't kill any birds. And I'm going to come back, and we're going to do tomorrow's episode, same time. Same area. So K-pop is a phase. Hanson was a phase for people, even though there's some people who still listen to it. Just like the ones who listen to Donnie Marie. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. I am not making that up. My dad has like the entire Donnie Marie record collection along with the Partridge Family record collection, which is my inheritance, unfortunately. His quote to put it, I ain't giving you shit. Except these records, I'm leaving your cat money. I don't know what that meant, but apparently he likes the cat more than he likes me. He likes my cat Lola more than he likes me. Because he says my cat is more caring. Which I don't know what that means, but I guess it means, if the cat attacks you, that means the cat cares. But anyway, K-pop is a phase, and people will grow out of it, and they will move the fuck on to the next thing. First it was, what was it, that boy band from Britain? Then it was the Biebs, and now it's this. People are going to grow out of phases, and they're going to move the fuck on. And that's what's going to happen. Final topic of the story I kind of want to talk about real quick. The Ricky Gervais thing I kind of want to cover. I found the Ricky Gervais story kind of funny. For those who didn't see, he did a story where he was talking about he was doing the Oscars, no, Golden Globes, and he basically just unleash the truth on everybody. And I found it really, really, he just, like, completely these people. Say he off, but his monologue was basically dropping the truth bombs on people and celebrities and stuff like that. And I found it amusing. I thought it was pretty stuff, so. Alright, and I'll answer these questions real quick. Will you do any more of the Phantoms and Monsters story on your podcast again? I will. I enjoy reading stories like that, but I kind of want to take a break from it, because usually when I did like back-to-back episodes of like talking about it, I kind of like, I don't know what is the word for it. I kind of became kind of like, I had like a couple weird dreams like talking about it. For example, like one night I had like this weird fucking dream. I woke up like 3:33 in the morning, which that freaked me out even more. In my dream, I was like in this house, and all of a sudden I opened this door, and there's like this weird fucking shadow figure coming right at me, which scared the shit out of me. I woke up like covered in sweat and like terrified of that fucking dream, because I think it was like I was reading I think it was a shadow person story, and I like had this weird fucking dream about it. And for me, I kind of want to do like one story in one episode of the week. I don't want to do like back-to-back episodes of it, because it was kind of like, I think I read too many stories, and I kind of had like weird visions, and not weird visions, but weird dreams and stuff. So I don't want to do those stories back to back again. And for me, I enjoyed the episodes. I really enjoyed that one story in Illinois, which was funny, even though it was like the person was being serious telling the story, which I believe the person, telling the story and stuff. But it was funny how this person's life was sort of similar to mine. It was like my doppelganger. So, basically that's what it was. We will read another comic. We will do one. I don't know which one. I kind of want to do Injustice. The Injustice books, but so I kind of want to do is Batman Hollywood Night. That's the one I want to do. I read the Batman Hollywood Night comics, and I really enjoyed them. So anyway, tomorrow's episode we will talk about true animated stories on YouTube. I've seen a lot of them, and somehow I kind of stumbled. A listener sent me like these videos, and I watched them, and I got angry and annoyed, because there's no way these stories are true. They had to be written by some teenage kid while listening to BTS K-pop music. So that's what I believe. So anyway, we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. We will talk about these animated true stories and stuff. I kind of enjoyed talking about it. And the final thoughts of the show is, one more thing. I kind of want to talk about this one real quick. Hold on, folks. I kind of want to talk about this one real quick. There's been like ideas and stuff I really want to talk about. This idea that I sort of have. Oh, thank you, love. I kind of have this thought of wanting to do the show. We've been doing this show for a while. Almost a year. I kind of have this thought of wanting to do this show for 5 hours. I mean, I know we basically do like do an hour episodes and stuff. But there's a part of me that wants to do a 5-hour show. And I don't know what or whatever, but I enjoy doing the show for 3 hours, and I want to do a 5-hour live broadcasting. And not only that, but I will have over 1,500 hours of storage and other features to do a 5-hour show. And no, this is not, I'm going to do a Patreon, donate to the Patreon thing. No, I don't want your money. But part of me just wants to do a 5-hour episode. So I think, I don't know what it'd be about. I don't know what the show would be. But I just have this thought in my head, like maybe later down the road, we will do a 5-hour show, extend it to 5 hours and longer. But right now, the first set of plans I have in my head is to expand the studio a bit. I'm going over things and I'm looking at new equipment, new stuff. And it's fun to record the show just with a laptop and a microphone and a, earbud in my ear because I kind of want to be professional. But the thing is, I kind of want to do a expansion of it, get a new microphone, get some new sound equipment, kind of make it professional. This is the plan. Everything has a plan. That's my Joker impression, by the way. It's all part of the plan. So, right now, I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to get a new microphone, some new equipment. Just kind of make it professional. Love you more. That's the plan of it. So, a 5-hour show would be great. So, yeah. That's sort of like this idea I have in my head, which is kind of crazy, but anyway. Any other questions? I do look forward to the 5G. It would help. It would help a lot. Just to ridicule and stuff. I want to talk real quick. Yeah, I forgot I wanted to talk about this. I discovered something kind of sad recently, and someone kind of told me. It was the Weekly Pool podcast. I did make a joke about that in the beginning of the show. I was really sad to hear that the Weekly Pool podcast has ended. And for me, I'm really heartbroken about hearing that the show Weekly Pool ended. I was such a big fan of the Weekly Pool. I love Comic Pop, Comic Storian, and all that. I think they're great YouTube channels. I recommend them, and highly recommend to check them out. And hearing that the show ended, with Rob, Comics Explained leaving to do his own thing, his own projects, which are really cool. Vlogging, his Comics Explained advice thing and all that. It's really great. And I'm happy that Benny and Sal of Comic Pop are doing Absolute Comics podcasts. But the Weekly Pool thing was a great comic podcast, thing. It actually inspired this podcast. I mean, am I professional like them? No, but I'm myself. I'm who I am. Deal with it. I'm keeping it real. So I'm happy that Benny and Sal are doing their podcasts. And I'm a fan of them. I love Comic Pop. I love Comics Historian. I may not have Benny's energy and excitement and all that, and my voice and all that, but I'm calm. So, I think that, Weekly Pool, it's kind of weird though how they ended. They ended right on Avengers Endgame, which was like the weirdest thing how they ended it. So, the irony of it. So, for me, I'm happy that there's no beef or bad blood or whatever there is between them. Maybe they'll do another Weekly Pool episode, a special one. But damn, they made it to like past 100 episodes. And that right there is amazement right there. Because doing a podcast getting up to 100 episodes, it tires you the fuck out. It kind of makes you go like, wow, what an accomplishment. And for me, I'm happy with them, And it's kind of funny though. They inspired the show, like I said, and I always wanted to be a guest on a Weekly Pool, just to give my 2 cents on it. But I think they would have censored me because, as you can tell, I drop an F-bomb or two. I go Joe Pesci on this show, so basically this is the wrap-up of the show, and you're amazing. You're way better. Thank you, love. So, anyway, tomorrow's episode, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about really bad animated true stories. Animated short true stories. Tomorrow's episode. So, yeah, we're going to be making fun of really shitty people who've tried to be the victims of their story, but in reality they are really bad people. So, anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, I promise. It's not going to be a week or 2 weeks or 4 days or whatever. I'm going to be back tomorrow. We're back on our regular schedule. We're going to be doing some crazy things in 2020. It's our year. It's kind of fun. And for one person who asked me if I would talk about what happened with the Iran thing, the dude, Iraq, whatever. The Iraq thing, not happening. I don't feel like talking about politics. Like I said, 2020 is a year of basically not giving a damn. I'm kidding. You have to. You can't live in a world where you get away with things. Yeah, I know. It's kind of shitty. Kind of. I think. I don't know. I did hear about it. I kind of want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it, but yeah, I heard about that. It's crazy what I heard. Because I walked in the living room and he was an asshole and he deserved it. Yeah, he did. I'm gonna talk about this and we're gonna wrap it up. A lot of people freaked the fuck out about it, and the weird thing about it is, the thing that freaked me out the most was Democrats and Hollywood people were like apologizing and sending their condolences and all that, like, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I know that we weren't supposed to talk about politics and stuff, that's kind of the rule, but I want to talk about this one. Hollywood people are fucking crazy. And Ricky Gervais showed it at the Golden Globes. And Michael Moore, who is my mortal enemy, because I don't like Michael Moore, and I'm sure he doesn't like me. Fuck his podcast. He can eat shit and fuck off. So, Michael Moore, who has his podcast, by the way, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Guess what, bitch? My show's bigger than yours. Yeah, I know. I hate politics, too. So, Michael Moore tweeted this. He tweeted this in Iranian, Persian language. Sir, I deeply regret the violence on our behalf by a man that most Americans have never voted for, a void power, a sincere man, Michael Moore, an American citizen. By the way, Michael Moore is a piece of shit. He can eat shit and fuck off. He's the same dude who hung out and became friends with Harvey Weinstein. A man who's on trial for raping and sexually assaulting women. Yeah, his podcast might be on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. My podcast is on every podcast platform. And Michael Moore posted a photo of, I forget his name, Somali or whatever his name is, he's dead. Hello, fellow Americans, do you know this man? He posted a photo of the man. Did you know he was your enemy? What? Never heard of him? By the end of today, you will be trained to hate him. You'll be glad Trump has assassinated him. You will do as you're told. Get ready to send your sons and daughters off to war. First off, we ain't going to war. we ain't going to war. People freak the fuck out over this. That we will be going to war. And a lot of people are afraid of the draft. People who 18-year-old men who signed a selective service thing. I was one of those people who had to. Okay, that's his name. Sador Salami? Okay. Salami is his name. I think that's his name. I don't know. And here's the thing. We're not going to go to war. There's not going to be a World War III. So, people need to, cool their shit. There's no World War III. We're not going to war. So get over it. And the draft thing is not going to happen. The draft was abolished in 1973. And it has to take through Congress and Senate to reestablish the draft. So there's no fucking way they are doing the draft. People need to learn their history. The draft was abolished in 1973. It's not going to happen. There's no draft. No one in the selective service is not going to be chosen to go back and, go fight the war and all that shit. I might have signed it, but it sure as hell ain't going. I'd be like, it ain't my fight, bitch. I got enough things to deal with. So, yeah, it's like, there is no way they're going to draft people. The Army's not going to show up and knock on the door and be like, you got to go. That's not how it's going to work. So, people need to stop freaking out or whatever. Okay. Anyway, there's more ways to fight things now, like, you know, hacking systems and all that shit. I think is how it is now. I don't know. Never been to war. And I never played a war game, so I don't know. So, anyway, there's no draft. There isn't going to be no war. We got enough things to deal with. And I'm sure people in Iran have enough things to deal with, I guess. I don't know. This is why you don't watch CNN. CNN will freak you out and scare the shit out of you with fear tactics. So, listen, folks. Every day is like yesterday. We all live our lives. We all move forward. And fuck everybody around us. They don't care. Be like Ricky Gervais. Say things you don't care about. And move on. That is how life is. So, take it with a grain of salt. And just live every day like yesterday or today. Don't worry about what's going on outside. People are crazy. I mean, shit. Recently in St. Louis, 10 people have died in the beginning of 2020. All gang shootings and all that. And recently, they're passing laws where pretty soon St. Louis is going to be like Gotham City. Completely insane. So, and pretty soon St. Louis is going to need a Batman. Yeah, it's so. Just remember, the world around us is always going to be what it is, and remember. Yeah, it's... So, remember one thing. And I gotta point this out. And I know a lot of people probably don't like this terminology. Read your history books. I don't know this number, so... Anyway, remember, folks... History is doomed to repeat itself if you don't read history. So read history books and always look around, because history has a way of its repeating. So, and to Michael Moore, quit fucking fear-mongering. You lazy piece of shit. You haven't made a good movie since 2004, and that was when George Bush was in office. And that fucker was crazy. So... Anyway, remember, don't get overwhelmed with fear and anxiety. That's what they want. They always want to use fear. They're like Ra's al Ghul. And Batman Begins. That's scary, I'm using that reference. CNN is basically like Ra's al Ghul in League of Shadows. They always like using fear. They always like putting fear in people, scaring people to control them. You don't let fear control you, and you don't let anyone else control you or your destiny, because they want you to not succeed and not get anywhere you want to go in life. So remember, you are in your own control in your own destiny. It's your life, your destiny, your choices. Don't let anybody else control them. And I'm wrapping up the show. Remember, I will be back tomorrow. We're going to be making fun of people with their crazy, stupid stories of being told in animation. I might want to submit my story. I might. I don't know. We'll do it tomorrow. You know what? Tomorrow, we'll create a crazy, exaggerated story to send it in to see if they get animated. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. I like that plan. And we'll come up with a great name for these characters. So, that's what we're going to do tomorrow, folks. We're going to do we're gonna do that. We're gonna watch crazy animated stories, make fun of them, create our own story together, character names, and send it in and see if they accept it. I would be laughing hysterically if they did. So, anyway, remember, I'm Batman. No, just remember, like Mr. Rogers said, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So I'll see you all tomorrow, neighbor.